What is up, MMA fans? This is Tudor Leonte for Sherdog, and today I have the pleasure to talk with MMA vet, Mr. John Doomsday Howard. Hello, John. Welcome back
How
on
you doing,
Sherdog.
man?
How are you today?
Doing good, doing good.
Where are you right now? Are you at home?
Yeah, I'm at home actually at our friend's house right now, conducting some business, getting ready for fights and stuff like that. Just having a few conversations.
Are you preparing your game plan, or what are you doing?
We're just talking game plans and situations, cutting weight, what to eat, what to not eat, stuff like that. Just basic stuff.
Yeah, now that you mentioned cutting weight, you moved last year. You moved between middleweight and welterweight. Right now, you are scheduled to compete again at 170. How is your weight cut going so far?
It's pretty good. I think I got between 25 and 20 more pounds to go. I like to keep it like kind of close, you know. So it's like and actually, I believe this fight is at 175, so it's a little bit different.
Okay.
So I don't have to cut as much weight as I used to. So that's why I'm my game plan to make sure I cut the right amount of weight at the right time.
Oh, sorry, I read it was at welterweight, so it's going to be a catch weight at 175, or
well, with this new league, they have weight classes different, so they have like 175, 165, 155. You know, so it's a little bit different. It's not necessary for us, for the American version, to catch weight. I guess for this new league is a regular thing to have the weight classes, and I kind of like it. You know, it's an opportunity to like. I believe each weight class should be 10 pounds apart, which is perfect.
So, are you an advocate of implementing new weight classes in MMA?
Yes, definitely. I'm definitely I say that because the sport is growing like tremendously. It's a whole new level. When I started the sport wasn't as big, but now because it's becoming as bigger, I think we should implement new weight classes, even in heavyweights. I think heavyweight, that the big giant gap in heavyweight should be like, I think closer. It should be a little, if not 10 pounds apart, maybe 15 to 20 pounds apart. My opinion, but you know, I like to see that this new league is having a situation where, you know, you don't have to go to 170 to 155. Now you can go to 170 to 165. And honestly, 165 for some people is easier to make than versus 155.
You are scheduled to take on Ramazan Kuramagomedov at Eagle FC 44 on January 28th. Where did you do your training camp?
I did my training camp with a few people. I did it with FAF kickboxing, also Ginsburg Academy, Ginsburg Jiu-Jitsu, Burgess MMA, and Gorilla Fitness. Between those 4 gyms, that's what I do all my training and all my working out at. Who
were your training partners? You know, your sparring partners.
Plenty. I have between all the schools, there's so many training partners. The main training partners would be Jake Pillar. He's a up-and-coming pro MMA fighter, one of my top students. I also got Nate Lamont. He's a great MMA fighter. I got Dave Ginsburg, he's my professor. I got him. I got Sean Graham, who's also my coach. I have so many training partners, from a guy named Zill, Tyler King. The list goes on and on, the guys who come in to help me. So it's like I have that variety of different training partners, from wrestlers to kickboxers, everywhere.
And what do you think about your next opponent's fighting style?
I think he's a well-rounder. He's tough. You know, he has pretty good kickboxing and good wrestling. I just think I have more experience than him, but I think he's definitely not an easy opponent. He's not someone to overlook. I think he's a tough opponent. I look forward to getting in the cage with him.
Your opponent is undefeated, and he seems to have a lot of hype surrounding him. He was signed to the UFC. He went inches from making his UFC debut, but then he withdrew from that fight. What do you think about this hype for your next opponent?
It is what it is, man. I mean, he's a new cat, man. He's coming to the game, and the hype. Hype is just hype. It is what it is. Man. It doesn't mean nothing to go in the cage, man. You know, so he has to deal with that pressure. I've been through the hype train. I've been on the hype train and off the hype train. So it doesn't matter, you know, man. It is what it is. We're still fighters at the end of the day, you know, and I feel that puts maybe a little more pressure on him. Maybe I don't know how he's taking it, but I am not too concerned about it, honestly.
Well, he definitely is taking a step forward in the level of competition, since I believe you're the most experienced opponent he has faced so far.
I think so too. I think my experience is gonna be a real big thing in this fight, and you have to deal with, But it doesn't say that as a fight I could overlook him. Like I said, he's undefeated, and he's an up and comer, So I got to let him know that, even though I'm an old timer in the sport, that I still have a lot in me to give, and he's gonna see it the 28th.
In your career, you faced a member of the Nurmagomedov family. I know obviously that it was merely business. So, but how does it make you feel, to fight for Khabib Nurmagomedov right now?
I love it. I just want to say thank you to Khabib for inviting me to the league. I mean, this is a great opportunity. Him come to be the first Eagle FC in America, in the States, and be a part of it. And I think it's a big step. I think this is gonna push MMA in a whole another direction. The one thing they bring to the table is different weight classes. I never seen, not that I never seen, this has been the first time something as big as Eagle as MMA organization pushing a new weight class. And I think it's about time. We've been under the law of these, significant weight classes where now that it's 175, 165, 155, that weight class changes the whole MMA game. And I think you're gonna see new champions at 165. Technically, there's no champion at 165, not at least not in the United States, and if we can make that happen in the United States, that would be awesome.
So sorry, I have to ask you here again. So it's going to be at 165 or 175? Your next
175.
175. Okay, sorry. Just to be clear. Do you believe that in implementing new weight divisions, this is going to help to prevent people from going to and exaggerate weight cut?
No, I think people still weight cut. I think certain people, it changes the dynamic where certain people like people who can't make 155 can make 165. Who are afraid to fight, because going from 155 and fighting at 155 to 170, that's a big weight cut. But now that there's a middle ground, I think that changes a lot, because a whole lot of people who would necessarily would never consider fighting 165 would. So that changes that whole dynamic, and everything, it being 10 pounds apart, that allows a lot more fighters to have the opportunity to fight in two different weight classes and two different championships, So I think this new weight class, I know I keep talking about the 165 because it is for me, it's a new thing, changes the whole MMA game, because now a lot of guys, I think, you're going to see fighting the two weight. You're going to see 55ers jumping to 165ers, and you might see 165ers jumping to 155 now, going back and forth. Matter of fact, you might people see who used to make 170 go to 65. So it changes the whole dynamic. It changes the whole game.
Has the promotion offered you a multi-fight contract, or is it going to be just one fight?
It's a one fight deal contract. I think they want to see if I prove I'm worth it, but I'm all about that. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for the opportunity, and I want to see where I stand, and make sure I still have it. And I can't wait. I'm excited. I've been training real hard for this fight. I haven't been slacking, and I'm excited. I can't wait, man. It's a week away.
There is one more topic I would like to discuss with you, and it's something a bit personal, but you have been diagnosed with autism, and there are many fighters who can talk about that. And if you want, I would like to ask you, how at this point of your career, how are you coping with that?
I'm doing great. I mean, I was diagnosed later in my life, but what people understand is I don't see it as a disability yet. There's challenges to it, but there's also exceptions to it. Me being on the spectrum allows me to do other things. It lets me to focus on, more training, really to fall into my training, like really use my how can I say this? Use my I have a lot of anxiety, and because of anxiety, it allows me to train, stay more focused. I use my anxiety to train. Sometimes I find myself overtraining, but I think sometimes it's a good thing. So I mean, it's a great thing. But honestly, I see in the future a lot of people coming out. You know, if people understand, in my time of growing up, autism wasn't really easy to diagnose, and to find out it's a blessing in disguise. You know, and I'll let you say something about that. But people understand that the spectrum is so far where it's like people, hey, autism, and think you could be made of this. The spectrum is so far where I'm on the spectrum, you know. So when being on the spectrum doesn't mean that I could be like I'm necessarily hard at anything. It's just I'm on the spectrum, so it varies so much. So there's variations of it, and because of the variations of it, my variation I believe to my advantage. There are disadvantages to it, but I try to find the advantages to being on the spectrum and use that to my grade.
Yeah, you know, I believe it has to be something to deal with, and you have been doing so far so good with also with your MMA career. Do you believe that, I don't know, perhaps fighters still struggle to perhaps to let's put it like this, you know, to deal with it?
Maybe, you know, it took a lot of courage for me to come out and explain and say that and to really admit it. You know, some people were embarrassed. I mean, at first time I was embarrassed, but it came to a point where I just didn't care. I felt like it was my responsibility to come out because I grew up with a lot of kids. You know, when I go see who else is on the spectrum, I grew up with all the teasing and stuff like that and stuff you have to deal with being there. So that being said, it's like I think it's my responsibility to let people know who's also on the spectrum that they can do great things. You know, I'm not doing it for like credit. I'm doing it for them, you know, to I call them my sisters and brothers, you know, all the people on the spectrum, you know. I'll let you know that even though that you're on the spectrum, that you're not limited. You know, you can do anything you put your mind to, and necessarily not be easier or harder. Okay, it definitely might make you a little challenging, but you can do it. I want to prove that to the world that even though, you know, if they want to say with this being on the spectrum, that it's still possibility to do great things, you know. And hopefully in the future, I'm looking for a title belt. You know, I want to be the first autism man, you know, to be a real announced legit world title holder. And then as I do that, I want to spread that message to the world. So when I see kids who are hindering and they're put in this box because they'll label something that label means nothing, that yeah, you might be put in this box or they might be labeled something, but there's still great things you can achieve being on the spectrum.
Well, I wish you, you know, to accomplish that. It would be quite an amazing thing. So hopefully it will happen sooner or later. At this point of your career, is there anyone whom you would like to face?
Ray Cooper. I'm the only man to knock the Ray Cooper. He's the PFL world champion, welterweight champion. I've been chasing him, and he's been avoiding me. I've been calling him names, calling him Ducky and everything, and he's still been avoiding me, you know. So, I mean, I thought he was a badass world champion. He wants to fear nobody, but every time it comes to me, it seems like he doesn't respond. He has nothing to say, and what he's doing, and I feel he's hiding behind the league, you know, accusing the league from because they won't bring me back. And the thing is like if you're a real fighter, real man, real champion, you know, you should be calling me out. And I personally, I want to say to Ray Cooper, how is it you're calling out Usman, the UFC welterweight champion, but you ain't saying nothing about me? I'm the only man to knock you out, but you don't want to say nothing. Everyone wants to sweep out on the rug, you know. And people say it was a lucky shot. It was this and that. Okay, my thing is prove it. Prove all that talk, the trash talk, you know. And that's the guy I like to see in the future. If not in the PFL, it's definitely in some of the guy. It's real personal because I felt like he was ducking me. That's why I call him Ducky. He was ducking me in the situation where he was all tough, big, and bad. He's screaming on us, I'm the best in the world, I'm the best in the world. But yeah, you don't want to be revenge to one person to knock you out. I'm the only man to knock you out, and you want to be quiet about it. Now, stop being a bitch.
And I believe you're also the last man to defeat him in a while. He's right now on quite a winning streak. So, you know, that would be quite interesting to, you know, hopefully it will go somewhere.
Hopefully, man.
What are your plans for 2022?
My 2022 is keep fighting, man. You know, try to get some serious wins, and I'm looking for titles. I'm looking for serious titles, and hopefully I get the opportunity to do it. And that's what I'm doing right now, man. Just I'm title hunting. You know, maybe if this league allows me and everything goes right, maybe I can either here or wherever, man. You know, I just want to prove to the world who I am. You know, after being the only man to knock out a PFL world champion and not being recognized for it, really, it kind of pisses me off. And I feel that I'm a pedigree world champion fighter. So right now, title hunting. You know, whoever I can't get a title take away from. Now, I would like to get a rematch with Ray Cooper to take that title away, because I believe that's my title. He's just using excuses not to see me, so it is whatever. But that's my goal right now.
Do you believe that a statement against Kuramagomedov would earn you a title shot?
I think so. I think I'll probably have to put work in, but depending on how everything goes, if I do a big statement and a reckless faction, I think that'll put me in a title contention easy. I think that's definitely a possibility thing to happen. But like I said, I can't overlook this man. I'm not going in thinking I'm the biggest, baddest. And I'm going in with the same humbleness and respect. Going in, I know I need to earn my keep in. That's what I plan to do.
Sir, Eagle FC 44 is headlined by the clash between Tyrone Spong and Sergei Kharitonov. Who is your pick for this fight?
That's a hard pick, man. That's a really hard pick, man. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say Tyrone on that one, man.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for your time today. Before I let you go, do you have any last message?
Yes, man. Definitely follow me on John Doomsday on Instagram, John Doomsday TikTok, John Doomsday Facebook, John Doomsday stand by any social media from Twitter all the way down to Facebook, all the way around. John Doomsday, how are you following me, man? And please watch me if you can on Eagle FC on GoFLX.com. If you can't, download the app FLX Cast. It's a free app. It'll be streaming the whole fight for free. If you can, please watch me on January 28th. It's gonna be a great card. So many UFC veterans are coming back out of retirement, even Rashad Evans. I'm excited to see him fight. And yeah, please watch.
Sir, best of luck with your upcoming fight. Hopefully, I will hear again from you in the future.
Definitely. Thank you.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
You too.